Expecting someone else? Hi, I'm Chris O'Donnell. The bat signal has been familiar to us for over 55 years. In 1939, Bob Kane created Batman, a nocturnal superhero who fights crime and seeks justice against an array of criminal minds. Well, tonight we're going to tell you about the newest incarnation of this legendary crime fighter in the movie Batman Forever.
Action!
Tonight, an exclusive inside look at the making of this summer's new epic adventure,
Your entrance was good.
Batman Forever.
His was better. Action! But first,
Let's meet our contestants.
Well, doing the stunts, and you really appreciate the batsuit. There is actually a reason that he's covered in 40 pounds of rubber.
Starring Val Kilmer as the Cape Crusader.
let me try.
The ball of fifth.
I love the fist.
Reach way back.
Reach way back.
Search yourself.
Ow!
Jim Carrey as a dangerous trickster.
The Riddler.
I thought I looked a lot like Michelle Pfeiffer, actually.
Tommy Lee Jones with a split personality as the villainous Two-Face.
We call it massacre under the big top.
The pressure doesn't come from the complications of the character. It comes really from the magnitude of the movie. The sets are enormous.
Nicole Kidman
I think I'm the first female character in Batman who gets to kiss Batman.
plays a criminal psychologist who falls in love with Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I'm a part of this whether you like it or not.
And Chris O'Donnell, who as the young acrobat Dick Grayson sees his family murdered, then dons his own mask to become Batman's famous sidekick, Robin.
You are better odds.
We go behind the scenes with director Joel Schumacher.
I wanted to make a living comic book, and this is big. Somebody did something right when they created Batman.
Schumacher's bright new vision inspired original sets and locations.
When you've got the Batmobile going at 100 miles an hour down Wall Street, that's a pretty big challenge.
There's incredible new toys and a redesigned Batmobile. It's a story that began over 50 years ago when Bob Kane created the Batman comic book. He launched a worldwide phenomenon that would lead to blockbuster movies, an amusement park ride, a Batman stunt show, and a merchandising empire.
Batmobile is very cool. I'd like to take it home, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Tonight's show will be hosted by the actor who co-starred in Son of a Woman and The Three Musketeers, Chris O'Donnell. So, riddle me this. Why is Batman Forever?
Now riddle me this. How do you get all these popular actors into one film? Well, tonight I'll give you the answer to that and many more questions. This is an amazing vehicle. Could you imagine being Bruce Wayne, a millionaire playboy superhero, and you get to drive this thing around every day? Well, this Batmobile is very different from anything you've ever seen before. It has new wheels that light up with the Bat logo, and a ribbed body made from the same material as jet fighters. It's a stylized automotive version of a bat, and this single fin here goes back to the Batmobile's first appearance in a 1941 comic book. The man who gets to drive this incredible machine is Val Kilmer. He's a familiar face to many, but like this car, he's brand new to Batman.
Going down.
Action!
The one thing I think that's really strong is that he's a human being. There isn't anything bionic, so you can relate to him. He has no problem being Batman. And that's really fun to do. I mean, the character knows what his world is about when he dons the cape, gets in the Batmobile. And then the things that are most fantastical about Bruce Wayne have to do with basic American dream ideals. He's disgustingly wealthy. He's so wealthy it never comes up. He's single. And what he chooses to do with his free time is fight an impossible battle.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get dressed.
Background and action.
Val Kilmer's destiny to play the Cape Crusader may have been written at age 8 when he visited the set of the Batman TV series.
Crawled around the Batmobile and walked around the set. I was in 3rd grade when the first television show aired. Every single classmate was telling the story all through recess, and by the end of the day I heard it so many times I was acting it out as well.
And then last year, when Kilmer emerged from a research project in the bush country of South Africa, he called his Hollywood agent and discovered that there had been talk of him being cast as the next Batman.
Well, I asked him, I said, when was it being discussed? You know, actively. He said whatever the day was and the date, and I figured out the time, and that particular night, with my partner, we'd slept in a cave full of bats, which I thought was a good sign and pretty entertaining.
This gives us a fresh Batman, and that's exciting.
Doing the stunts, and you really appreciate the batsuit. There is actually a reason that he's covered in 40 pounds of rubber.
Action!
We got it.
Yep, good.
Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. The sparks.
So you need no padding. Fell out of the helicopter, you know, bang on the landing pad part of it. So we'll pad it, we'll thing. I'm fine.
Action! Action! Action!
There he goes.
Only when you get hit in the lips. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot in the batsuit.
Action!
Bravo, yes!
Your entrance was good. His was better.
Mark?
One of the main themes is identity. Can he have a life without being Batman? His personal story is mirrored in Dick Grayson's story.
2 against 2 are better odds.
If we're the same, Bruce, help me. All right, train me. Let me be your partner.
It's about as cool as it comes.
His parents die, and he's consumed with revenge.
It's got to go his own way. A friend taught me that.
I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. I don't know. What do you think? What's a good sidekick name?
I was trying to think the other day what doesn't happen to him, and the only thing I could come up with is I don't think a hand grenade explodes on him. Other than that, everything.
The bat's stubborn refusal to expire is driving us insane!
I'm blown up, walked through fire, submerged in water, buried alive, sealed into a bank vault full of acid. My brain is melted. What else happens?
The real game begins.
That, if you can't tell, is a Riddler. And this cane is one of his favorite weapons. Riddler's bad news for Batman. In fact, he's been tormenting the Caped Crusader since 1948. Though very popular, the Riddler disappeared from the Batman stories for almost 20 years before he resurfaced in 1965. Well, now, thanks to Jim Carrey, the Riddler's back in a very big way. Having become one of the most popular comedic actors in the world, Jim was the perfect choice to play the Prince of Puzzlers.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
Do you like when I sit like this? It looks very distinguished, doesn't it?
Who the hell are you?
Just a friend. But you can call me
The Riddler.
I thought I looked a lot like Michelle Pfeiffer, actually.
Meow.
He's got a little touch of Fred Astaire, a panache, a joie de vivre.
Was that over the top?
How come I wasn't Batman? Yeah, that was it. I didn't want to be Batman. That was it. It's just a great character because I mean, he starts out, you know, pretty much bonkers.
So, Mr. Nigma, what's on your mind?
precisely. What's on all our minds? Brainwaves.
Edward Nygma, who works for Wayne Enterprises, starts out as a techno-nerd genius with plans to be a bigger and greater electronics mogul than Bruce Wayne.
Two of a kind!
It's about not loving yourself and, you know, seeing somebody who is the guy that you'd love to be and resenting him for it.
You were supposed to understand.
That begins a story of revenge and jealousy and competition that drive him over the edge, and he becomes the Riddler and a criminal.
Surf's up, big kahuna!
But it just takes on different forms, and he gets so full of energy and evil power that you just can't help but love playing that. It's just amazing.
Let me demonstrate.
The Riddler teams up with Two-Face to mass-produce a devious, mind-controlling invention.
It's the ultimate juice master. Basically, it saps the IQ from whoever watches the television that it's hooked up to and redirects the brain waves into Edward Nygma's skull. So he's devouring people's IQ. And so he just becomes a mega intellect, although he's mad.
1, 2, 3, action!
With the explosions and stuff, it was me right out there. I mean, there's stuff exploding all around me. I was right out there with the blasts. It was just action.
Let me try. The ball's missed. Bottom of the fist.
Reach way back. Search yourself.
Ow!
Lightning in a bottle.
Go ahead.
I loved the idea of getting thrown in with some heavyweights.
You can see it.
He looks real good, covered in question marks. You're a genius.
Challenging in some respects. It was, unnerving.
Like the jacket?
Keeps him safe while he's jogging at night.
It keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night.
It was just a great chance to go crazy.
And I thought I had a lot of energy. When we come back, we'll see two sides of Academy Award winner Tommy Lee Jones as he takes on the role of Two-Face, Gotham's #1 public enemy. This is no ordinary coin. One side good, the other bad. Just like former Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent. And you might know him as Two-Face. He first appeared in DC Comics in 1942, and surprisingly, the character's never been portrayed by a live-action performer. Until now. Academy Award winner Tommy Lee Jones plays this twisted role to perfection. To help him prepare for the role, Tommy had a little talk with the father of Batman, creator Bob Kane.
Let's start this party with a bang!
Bob Kane, the man who created Batman.
Remember, your bird shall have no other wings but that of a bat. Surprisingly, the inspiration for Batman came from the words and drawings of Renaissance artist Leonardo da Vinci.
This is Batman's father.
At the age of 13, Batman creator Bob Kane came across the Da Vinci designs for a flying machine, and as Kane later said, there it was for me, the Batman.
A living legend.
I really enjoyed Bob Kane's company, and he was talking about all of his characters, and I said, so Bob, were you in fact thinking of Jekyll and Hyde when you came up with Harvey Two-Face? And he said, brilliant.
Roll! Common mark. D mark. A and B common mark.
And 1, 2, 3, action! Tommy!
The character Harvey Two-Face was formerly known as District Attorney Harvey Dent, a good guy.
All righty, boys. Welcome our guest.
But when a Gotham City crime boss threw acid in Harvey Dent's face,
You're gonna make my face fall off. I'm gonna...
Dent was transformed into a fearsome public enemy with a psychotic split personality.
Blind, stupid, simple, doodah, clueless.
Harvey Two-Face is a very complex villain because he is one side good and one side very evil.
If the bat wants to play, we'll play.
And has to flip a coin to decide which one he's going to be.
I will help you solve the greatest riddle of all, the mother of all riddles. Who is Batman?
His plan is to kill Batman.
Therefore, heads, we accept, and tails, we blow your damn head off.
Usually what he tries to do is set a trap for Batman. He'll wreak havoc and wait until the Bat comes to restore order and try to ambush it.
Ladies and gentlemen!
It was just a great deal of fun to be a comic book villain.
Tonight, a new act for your personal amazement. We call it Massacre Under the Big Top.
The pressure doesn't come from the complications in the character. It comes really from the magnitude of the movie. The sets are enormous. So, you know, the challenge really came from living with and maintaining this enormous scale.
What the hell do you want, Harvey? Want, Mr. Mayor? One simple thing. Batman. Bruised, broken, bleeding. In a word, dead!
I've always had a lot of confidence, and I've always been, you know, completely terrified. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's quite true. So I'm very happy now. Being an actor is frightening. Sooner or later, in the course of a day or an hour, something scary will happen.
Cut. We have it.
I've never done anything like that before, and it was a new and very happy experience.
Even though Batman's sole purpose is to fight crime and defend against injustice, he always seems to find time to meet some of the prettiest and most adventurous women in the world.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
This time it's the brilliant Dr. Chase Meridian. The good doctor likes Batman, and Bruce Wayne likes her. It's a love triangle with just two people. And the woman causing all the commotion, the beautiful Nicole Kidman. There's a song in the movie called Kiss from a Rose. A line in the song, "You became the light on the dark side of me," describes the relationship between Batman and Dr. Meridian. So to help us with the story, we went behind the scenes with Seal for the making of his new video.
And call me Jay. By the way, do you have a first name or do I just call you Bats? She's a criminal psychologist and who happens to have sort of the perfect hair and the perfect makeup, and it's all just a bit too perfect. She's just moved to Gotham City, and that's how she first encounters Batman, and he knocks her off her feet. I mean, she can't believe him. He's just absolutely so incredible looking in his bat suit. You are interesting. I throw myself at him unabashedly. Used to be a graying tower alone on the sea.
That's a cut. Excellent.
I light the bat signal, which obviously you're only meant to do if there is a big problem. But I light the bat signal because I just want to see him, and I want him to see me. I sort of wear a little black dress with a lot of cleavage.
You called me here for this. The bat signal is not a beeper. Direct, aren't you?
You like strong women. I've done my homework. Batman is attractive because he's lives life on the edge, and he seems to be mysterious, and she doesn't really know about him. So in some ways that's very safe for her because she knows she can never really have him.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car. It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
So much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby.
Bruce Wayne comes to visit me, and that's how I get introduced to him, and I start to help him trying to solve some of the Riddler's riddles.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Good. Then you can afford to buy me a new door.
That you shine can't be seen.
Bruce is so upfront and seems to be so together and pursuing her, so that is also appealing.
She wants Batman, not Bruce Wayne.
Let the lady decide.
So she's in this kind of catch-22. Who does she choose? Nice place to be in. I think I'm the first female character in Batman who gets to kiss Batman. But I get to kiss Batman.
Don't work too late.
It was pretty exciting. I don't like to get stuck in any one genre. I like to be versatile, change the way I look, change the way, change the characters, and that's what's appealing to me about acting.
Still haven't figured this thing out yet. This is the Batarang. One of the reasons I was so excited about playing Robin was that I got to play with all the cool Bat gadgets. Along with the new Batmobile, there's the Batboat, the Batwing, and even the appearance of the Bat Sub for the first time, which was totally computer generated. This is the new Bat Grapple Hook. It's seen a lot of action.
That's impressive!
We'll be back with more of the show in just a minute. I have to admit, playing a comic book superhero was a pretty cool job. You know, Robin first appeared in Detective Comics in 1940 and has been the source of some controversy since the beginning. Where did Robin come from, and does Batman really need a crime-fighting partner? I think we've put those questions to rest. Working with all these actors and director Joel Schumacher was a blast. I still remember all the Batman toys I had as a kid. After all, one of the reasons Batman has endured is that it appeals to all of us, regardless of our age. One time... Excuse me, I gotta go. A crime fighter's job is never finished. I've always wanted to say that. Good night. Batman, I'll be right there. I was doing a show. Yeah, I said some good things about you. Now, I didn't tell him who you really are. Hey, do you plan on using the Batboat next weekend? Great.
It is still to me mysterious, but there is something that Bob Kane created in Batman that's remained fascinating through 50 years of changes, and there's something very elemental that he captured.
There's a real dark, kind of cultish feel to it. Batman has all this undercurrent going on. It's kind of cool.
It's the theme of duality. Batman has two identities. Robin has two identities. The Riddler has two identities.
Certain characters have definitely just become part of American culture. Batman is really something, it's a movie like no other movie. I mean, it really is just this huge event.
This pure fantasy. You go into it and you know that you're going to be taken on a roller coaster ride, and I think we all love to do that.
Let's start this party with a bang!
My invention beams any TV signal directly into the human brain. Mind manipulation, tampering with people's brain waves, it just raises too many questions.
What is it about the wrong kind of man?
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. What's a good sidekick name? Woo!
I will help you solve the greatest riddle of all. Who is Batman?
As Bruce Wayne, he is a quadrillionaire.
Going down.
He can do whatever he wants to with his life and chooses to fight psychotics at night dressed as a bat. Batman has a singular objective. He is a one-man SWAT team, whereas Bruce Wayne has the luxury and the hell of trying to figure out how to live like we all do.
If the Bat wants to play, we'll play!
That could have been the two-word job description, cut loose. He's completely, I guess, over the top. Most of the villains, they have neat costumes, they have magnificent obsessions. You're tempted to use the word gothic, because they're from Gotham. It's fun.
The Riddler is this guy who he becomes so wrapped up in Bruce Wayne's success that he loses himself completely. As he goes along, he just gets more and more kind of engulfed in his own greatness, his own brilliance. And, you know, I can certainly understand that.
You're a genius.
Normal thought is no fun to him. It's too mundane, you know, and so everything becomes a game and everything becomes a riddle.
Who would send you a riddle?
The Riddler.
You like strong women. I've done my homework. Or do I need skin-tight vinyl and a whip?
She's a criminal psychologist who just happens to have sort of the perfect blonde hair, the perfect makeup, the red lips, and dress in sort of tight black sexy dresses.
I don't mind the work. Pity I can't see behind the mask.
We all wear masks.
My life's an open book. You read?
Her obsession is Batman, trying to seduce him. And Bruce Wayne is in love with Chase Meridian. So you have a triangle, although there is really only two people in the love triangle.
Robin is definitely something new.
Who the hell are you?
He's a lot more physical, a lot tougher.
You forgot the part where you kissed the girl.
The storyline is closer to the comic book storyline, which is that he comes from a family of circus performers.
The Flying Graysons!
But after he sees his whole family get killed, he realizes that Batman can help him in what he's trying to do, which is avenge his family's death.
You are totally out of control. You're gonna get yourself killed.
I'm a part of this, whether you like it or not.
What we've tried to make with Batman Forever is a living comic book. The comic books were a great source. The use of color, the use of action, the use of storytelling techniques that are so delicious in a comic book are all there.
Because the comics, especially the Dark Knight series, when you look at the frames, they're like washed in color. And each character has his own coloration. So whenever you were near Riddler's world, everything is washed in a kind of cyberpunk Riddler green.
Like the jacket? It keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night.
When we're in Two-Face's world, everything is washed in reds, whites, and magentas.
I simply love what you've done with this place. Beautiful. Very few people are both a summer and a winter, but you pull it off nicely.
The city itself is, it's a character, kind of neo-huge. There are a lot of shapes and sculptural styles. There are whole buildings that are shaped as humans. In our story, Gotham is really seen from a lot of different angles.
Camera, action!
We opened this world way up. So we went to Pan-Asia Town. You go over what we call the bridge area of Gotham. The idea of Gotham, in the scale of it, is to give it a kind of 600-story scale, about 3 times the size of New York.
Some of the images for Batman were so vast in scale that it was impractical to build them as miniatures, and it was impractical to create them as matte painting. In that case, we used a computer-generated city, and it's critical in order to be able to get this scale.
It's kind of like a real city, but you know, these buildings have things added onto them, and it's a kind of a strange reality.
I really wanted this time to build a Batcave, to have a real big Batcave. You know, you could see the car come up, somebody get out of the car, walk over to the crime lab, walk over to the wardrobe room and Alfred's crime lab. The thing that was important in building the Batcave was to have the rock cave look, but to also add architecture into it.
What do you suggest, Alfred? By sea? Or by air?
I love that aspect of movies, just the idea that somebody writes a notion down and suddenly, 50 different artists are working on 50 different aspects of it, and you get there and there's this mountainous set.
The sets are one of the stars of the movie.
With effects and stunt movie like this, the storyboards become a very important tool for Joel to be able to get across, especially to the stuntman. I'm going to have him come down here, fall over here, the car's going to run over there, and so that they can help work out a choreography.
I think the only thing that doesn't happen to Batman is he's never covered in lava, but I'm buried alive, I'm drowned, I'm in a vat of acid, and fly from a helicopter.
Hang on, Batty!
It was one of the few times I thought, oh, that's why he has 40 pounds of rubber around him, dangling and crashing through glass. It felt like what it looked like, I'm sure. And I kiss a girl, too, which was tough. That required the most takes. I never could get it right, and I'd have to apologize, and we'd have to do it over and over again.
Val and I just happen to get along really well on screen.
My place. Midnight.
We have to kiss a lot in the movie. I mean, poor me.
Well, I wish I could say that my interest in you was purely professional.
When we could take the time to do the perfectionist thing, it was great. But also when we were working with the special effects, I mean, the fact is I could only do one take. It took 3 hours to set up each time. So, I'd go to them afterwards and I say, yeah, I think we got something good there, but, could we try it a different way? No. It's over, Jim. Go home.
Was that over the top? I can never tell.
Background.
Joel is the perfect person to direct a film like this because he's so just easygoing and fun and knows how to keep the atmosphere light. He gets everyone involved. He's always talking to everyone on the set, getting every crew member involved and making everyone, letting everyone know that they're important so everyone takes a pride in what they're doing.
I need to have a very relaxed, fun atmosphere to work in. I like a lot of harmony. I like a very wide open set in the sense that anyone can suggest anything.
What we try to do on the day of work is to do something in the moment, in the midst of all the technical things that goes beyond just hitting your mark.
Hot entrance.
The car took on a look that went much more into the kind of organicness of a bat, where it had a sense of ribs on the side, which I really wanted because the ribs of the bat are really unusual looking. And then adding the sense of underlighting so it almost had a breathing quality to it. The bat toys were probably some of the most fun things to do because it was fun coming up with just whatever idea you could have. Chris Ross sat and made these amazing prototypes and they all worked. Things like the bat bolo, when he throws it, can grab the thug's legs, tie him up, and hold him until the police get there. Everything is designed to reflect a wing.
Hang on.
Whether it's the torch that opens up to look like a wing. The batarangs go through many stages. We have the throwing batarang. We have a high-tech batarang that has a homing device on it.
Exactly.
Then we have the batarang gun, which is on his arm, which is a series of tiny little batarangs.
Robin gets to borrow some of the cool toys. We got to borrow the bat boat. He stole the Batmobile for a little while. But I think that, the more time he puts in, the more gadgets he's going to get.
He might eventually, if he's good.
Jim worked with a a man who teaches you tricks with a cane.
I busted so many canes. These canes were like being eaten up on the hour, every hour. I need another cane. Send another 5 canes over. It's like people come over to my house and just go, look out! Duck, the cane would come flying over their heads. It was really a lot of fun when it became part of the character, when I could forget about it.
I hope we were able to recreate the experience of reading those comics and that great feeling you had when you rode your bicycle to the store to buy that current issue.
With a Batman movie, there's so much speculation over who's going to be in it and who's going to be playing what. So I've never been in a movie like that before, and it's exciting.
I remember watching the first Batman and thinking, this is huge, this is amazing, I love this stuff. You know, and now to be part of it, part of the lore, is kind of cool.
Before we started shooting, I thought, this is going to be the most arduous task of my life. But it was the most fun I've ever had.
Kids would come onto the set and I would want to be Batman for them because it was so much fun to see their eyes and their total concentration, but nothing I did mattered. They weren't interested in my voice or stuff, just the image.
People really like Batman. What can you say? It's been around for a long time. It's a classic. It's stood the test of time.
Oi, eu sou Marina com Semana Cine Especial. Batman Eternamente é o terceiro filme da série. Michael Keaton, que foi o Homem-Morcego nos 2 primeiros, foi substituído por Val Kilmer. Outra mudança é Tim Burton, que trocou a direção pela produção executiva, e Joel Schumacher, de Um Dia de Fúria e o Cliente, ficou com a direção. Com a troca, esse novo Batman ficou menos sombrio e ganhou muito mais ação. Outra novidade é que resolveram ressuscitar o Robin, feito pelo Chris O'Donnell, o menino do perfume de mulher. A namorada é Nicole Kidman e dessa vez 2 vilões. Tommy Lee Jones faz o Duas Caras e Jim Carrey, que desbancou Robin Williams para esse papel, faz o Charada. Chris Conner da MTV americana entrevistou os astros e é isso que você vai ver agora.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
We have a theme of duality. Batman is 2 people.
Look. Chair. There's Bruce Wayne, and he's different than Batman.
Robin, towards the end of the film, you know, takes on this kind of dual lifestyle.
What's a good sidekick name? How about Dick Grayson, college student?
He's suddenly assuming this superhero lifestyle.
Harvey is definitely 2 characters.
Are you going to kill me?
Maybe, maybe not. You can say we're of 2 minds on the subject. The nature of his madness is such that he used to be a district attorney who would restore order to a criminal society.
Let's see what justice has in store for you.
He's now become obsessed with chaos and decided that that is in fact the true justice.
Edward Nygma is like a guy who basically loses his identity.
By the way, I've seen your mind, freak.
He has completely lost himself. And the only way that he can shine is through all the wild lights and the hair and the diamond encrusted suit.
Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
Everyone in the film has a dual personality, and so I really wanted to make sure that Chase, even though she didn't put on a suit, or a villain costume, she had her other side. I'm Chase Meridian.
I read your work. Insightful. Naive, but insightful.
I'm, by day, this sort of wonderful psychologist
Then at night, I have my dark side, which is to be chasing Batman wherever he goes and asking him to come to my bedroom. Midnight, please. Midnight.
Now we've established a firm grasp of the obvious. Let's have a car chase and a big fight and learn if good is stronger than evil.
That scene of you in the Batcave when you're blowing things up, that looks like you had the best time imaginable.
It was so cool. It was so cool. You could do maybe 2 takes a day, you know, so, you know, after it was done, it was like, you know, I want to do it again. And they said, well, you can't, because it takes 4 hours to set up.
When he blows up the Batcave, that's all him. That's him and the explosives.
There were no stunt people on this film. We put them on the credits just because of the insurance thing.
Let's start this party with a bang!
I did some of Tommy's stunts.
Did you work out big time for this movie, or are you just naturally that pumped?
I'm just naturally that pumped.
I worked out pretty darn hard. I worked out, you know, just this side of Sylvester Stallone.
Well, you know, the costume is fake.
Oh, my back hurts. Do you wear a cup in this movie?
I don't wear a cup, actually. Robin just has a very large cod piece.
Well, gosh. I kicked him in the groin constantly. He must have the hardest nuts on earth.
Very well-developed costume. Not just the muscles.
With his background in costume design, Schumacher made sure the Batsuit had some new accessories.
I'm famous for putting nipples on the Batsuit.
There's nipples on this. And then he came by and pointed. So you're kidding. God.
This is the first suit that they put them on, and it was hysterical. So, of course, this is the 90s.
Where do you stand on the nipples on the Batsuit question?
Hey, if I had my way, it'd be totally anatomically correct. You know what I mean? That's right. Batman, Capes Crusader, raging.
I would have loved to have been able to put on one of those suits. Like Jim's suit.
Like the jacket? It keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night.
I was really jealous of that suit.
They start like wheeling out these costumes for you to check out.
Yeah, and I went immediately to the sock drawer. And I said I need a big pair of tube socks.
What do you think the enduring appeal of the Batman story is?
I think Batman is, you know, he's a real person.
There is something about that he's a man. It's not superhuman powers.
He just kind of bought all this stuff, you know what I mean? So maybe people think if he made a lot of money, like maybe, you know, Bill Gates at Microsoft, thinking, maybe I could, like, make a Wayne Manor, you know?
I think we're fascinated with Batman because he's the perfect 11-year-old boy.
His black rubber suit.
Bats is another thing that people are fascinated with.
This guy's cool. His suit is all perfect. He's got all those little gadgets.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? I'm obsessed with his black rubber suit.
When we return, we'll hang from the rafters with Batman's new sidekick, and we'll meet the man beneath the mask.
I will help you solve the greatest riddle of all, the mother of all riddles. Who is Batman?
Val Kilmer has great lyrics.
Bastard.
No, he was a good guy.
He is a very stunning hero screen presence.
Val Kilmer's good looks and dry wit have helped him work steadily in movies for more than a decade. In comedies,
I didn't want you guys to think I was stuck, you know, no fun. All brain, no penis.
dramas,
They are not my people.
and most memorably as Jim Morrison in The Doors. So when Michael Keaton chose to relinquish the role he'd played in the first two Bat films,
Maybe you should retire.
Kilmer got the call at a somewhat ironic location.
It was a cave full of bats in South Africa. The agent said, if Michael doesn't want to do Batman again, do you want to? I said, sure.
How is your Batman different from the last one?
The ears are longer.
Pointy ears and a taste for hard black rubber only hint at the weirdo behind the mask.
Well, let's just say I could write a hell of a paper on a grown man who dresses like a flying rodent.
Bats aren't rodents, Dr. Meridian.
Bruce Wayne is not exactly sane. He's hustled an entire town to think that it's okay for him to dress as a bat. You know, he's not stopping for those red lights in the middle of the night. He's flying all around. He's getting mad at people. 120 rooms, one helper.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through. Very strange guy. No, he could do anything he wants, but this is what he does. The characters that I've played that have been heroic have all been kind of odd.
You're so drunk you can't hit nothing. In fact, you're probably seeing double.
I have 2 guns, one for each of you. Doc Holliday does heroic things, but he's extremely demented.
You've played a hero and you've played a villain in films of this sort of size, in a sense. I mean, you go back to Top Gun, you were playing the bad guy. Is it?
I never like that when people say that.
You figured it out yet? What's that? Who's the best pilot?
He wasn't. He was a good pilot. Poor guy. Where is he now?
There's something amazing about Batman. Not being able to see the whole package. Chris just all this innuendo.
Batman has tangled with women before. Some good,
Vicky Vale.
some really, really good.
You're catnip to a girl like me.
Now he comes under the more than professional scrutiny of Dr. Chase Meridian.
You called me here for this. The bat signal is not a beeper.
Well, I wish I could say that my interest in you was purely professional.
You're trying to get under my cape, Doctor?
It was the reason why I actually wanted to do the movie, was because of that scene and the way in which she blatantly throws herself at him. I'll bring the wine. Or do I need skin-tight vinyl and a whip?
But I never kissed Nicole. That's not me.
But where Chase sees a lover, newly orphaned Dick Grayson sees a fighter, and so tries to sign on with Batman as a crime-busting sidekick named Robin.
Help me. All right, train me. Let me be your partner. Al, hang this next to the bat suit, where it belongs.
How is this Robin different?
This Robin is, he's a little tougher. So it's definitely a different image than the kind of gee golly image that we all have of him.
Why does he resent Batman so much?
He blames Batman for his family's death because he says if Batman would have showed up at the circus.
So, unless the bat is delivered up to us post-haste, we're off on a proverbial killing spree.
Two-Face would have been able to go after him like he wanted to, and his parents never would have been killed in the process.
And yet he finds himself drawn to Batman because of this revenge feeling he has.
Can't promise I won't kill Harvey. Initially, he realizes that Batman, that can help him get to Two-Face. But then he definitely kind of likes the whole superhero kind of lifestyle.
What do you suggest, Alfred? By sea? Or by air?
Why not both?
Who's your tailor?
Well, there's that scene where you're sort of saying, I want a name.
Batboy, Nightwing. I don't know. What do you think? What's a good sidekick name?
But Batman's very resistant to the idea.
We're totally out of control. You're going to get yourself killed.
He's trying to protect me, but I'm young and naive. Wherever Batman goes, I'm going to be right beside him.
And you see him as a kind of mentor, I suppose, eventually. In a sense, your role in Scent of a Woman also had the same sort of mentor.
Come on, what are you, some kind of chicken? Sticks a job description on me?
No, Charlie wanted nothing to do with Colonel Slade. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. How would you know? Watching MTV all your life.
I was just trying to get out of there.
And this guy wants everything to do on some level with Batman.
Exactly. Not just a friend.
A partner.
How come you don't have a belt with all that cool stuff?
I've got a belt there. You just didn't check it out. Robin has some gadgets on there. He just is not fully brought up to speed on how to work everything.
Well, you know, there was some talk you'd kind of done a job on the Batmobile. You put it up on a curve, is this right?
I kind of nudged it in a little bit. I don't know, the brakes weren't really tight. I gotta get new brake pads on that thing.
You forgot the part where you kissed the girl.
And you get to kiss somebody in this movie. I don't remember Robin getting much play.
Yeah, he really wants to stick his tongue down someone's throat at some point, if possible. I think he needs to get a little bit more play in some of these things. We're gonna have to work on that for the next one.
Stay tuned. We've got Jim Carrey, uninhibited.
Somebody play with me.
Uncut. Unhinged. And unconscious.
When trouble was afoot.
When we return.
Contestants.
The Riddler. Whenever there was a line, you needed a line or needed something clever or witty to say, it's like, where's Jim? Where's Jim?
You're a genius. It was a lot of fun watching Jim enjoy it as much as we were.
One of the most amazing human beings I've ever worked with in my life.
And you felt free throughout to be able to make up lines on the set to tell Joel, I'm going to try something new.
Yeah, you know, it was a surprise because it was my first huge budget. And I thought, well, here's the time where they sit on you and they go, no way, mister. You know what's writing on this? And turn into Broderick Crawford on you.
Cut off! Your button paid for, your button paid for.
You know, and, you know, so I went to Joel. I said, I have ideas. He said,
Great!
Let's face it, villain is the gig in these movies, right? I mean, hero is fun, but villain is really where it's at, yeah?
that's what everybody says. But ultimately, you do look at the hero and you go, why was he cast in that role and I was cast in this role? Maybe cosmically they know something about me that I don't even know myself yet.
Your entrance was good. His was better. The difference?
Showmanship.
I think that working with Jim brought out some of Tommy's humor. And it was exciting to watch both of them together in a scene because they're both great scene stealers.
Very few people are both a summer and a winter, but you pull it off nicely.
What's the point, big boy?
I was dealing with Tommy Lee Jones, man. I was scared out of my mind.
Has anybody ever told you you have a serious impulse control problem?
Let's cut to Tommy during this.
Hey, listen, fellas, that's very distracting.
I can tell you how it went.
Of course. Damn plebe. Cretin.
That kind of thing. Makes you feel real warm inside.
Anything else?
People come up to you and they say,
He'll kill you, man. He'll kill you with his bare hands. Get your line.
Okay, I get the point.
Blast him!
For me, the Riddler was spinning a cane, you know, basically trying to think that, you know, trying to get my psychology in the right place, which was basically a sycophant, you know, the guy that loves what somebody else has so bad, so much that he loses himself completely.
Bruce Wayne, in the flesh.
Gonna need that hand back.
Yes. He comes from kind of a place that we all can, you know, we can all go there. You know, if we kind of lose ourselves or our self-esteem and start going, hey, covet thy neighbor's goods.
I'm coming, my sweet.
Batman will come for me.
Batman? Batman, you say? Coming for you? I'm counting on it!
So what would happen if your character meets Bruce Wayne in an alley with nobody else around? Would you be able to kick his butt?
No, I wouldn't. But I'd wait till he wasn't looking and pick up a rock. That's my character.
Carey took home a reported $5 million to play the Riddler.
Was that over the top?
A far cry from the struggling days of his early LA years.
It was that, you know, that time in my life where, you know, auditions meant nothing. I think I really, for about 2 years of my life, I wore my clothes inside out and going to auditions that way and having people say, you know, doesn't he know that he's ruining himself?
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective gave Carey the chance he craved, and an early screening tipped him off to the superstardom that lay just ahead.
When I saw Ace, it was hilarious because I went to Atlanta to that theater, and you know, it was the first time, you know, I started realizing that this thing was getting kind of big. Oh, righty then. I went into the theater, and I heard people on walkie-talkies going, "The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed," like that. And I went, "Who's the eagle, man?" And they went, "You're the eagle." And I went, "Ooh, caw," you know, and you know, I immediately laid an egg.
Spoken!
The success of The Mask left Carey just as addled.
The Mask is a whole different animal. It's like, you know, it's just a whole different thing. It's a whole different world. It's a whole different realm. It's a whole different quandary. It's a whole different rigmarole.
You are one pathetic loser.
Dumb and Dumber's triumph had some critics detecting a nationwide lurch toward cultural stupidity.
Oh, geez, look at the butt on that.
Yeah. He must work out. Blame little old me for the dumbness in the country. I just want to give people relief. That's all I want. You know, you educate the man.
Next for Carey, more comedy certainly, but a dramatic role as well.
Some director with true talent and foresight will look at me and realize that I'm not just laughs and giggles. I'm pain too.
And hopefully some much-needed downtime.
This year of my life is so exciting. Yet it's exhausting at the same time. So it really is like, the analogy would be like it's 1 a.m. all the time. You have to get up at 6 in the morning. And, you know, just before you're about to shut off the TV, the announcer comes on and says that the late night movie is Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts. And you have to stay up and watch every frame. And that's what my life is like. I can't miss anything.
Is there going to be a Riddler action figure? Do you get to approve it or anything?
There's all kinds of stuff. I think there's Riddler, you know, medical equipment. There's Riddler gynecological equipment, you know, big question mark that opens up. Woo!
So what is the exhausting part for you?
I think I'm masturbating too much. I think I need to leave myself alone.
Just curl up, take a nap.
Could I?
Yeah. Let's see.
Night's Hue. With the Batman boxers. I think Riddler kind of looks a little bit like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine here, if you look at the cotton Batman Robin costume t-shirts. This is Chris's first time appearing on a mug. I want to see Batman stuff. Let's look around. The Two-Face contrasting leg jeans. It's Batman and Wonder Woman. I knew it. Batman does have twin headlights, and it looks like they're both out, and that's a $50 fine in the state of New York. The black Batman Forever Barrette, a fine dollar value at $32. You know, I've seen so much Batman Forever merchandise today, I'm feeling a little bit discombobulated. I think I've actually reached my threshold of bat stuff. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm not going to buy anything today. I'm going to go home, clear out my checking account, and come back in a couple of weeks so I can plow out my entire summer line of Batwear. So Robin, let's go back to you in Central Park. And you know what? I'm really sorry about all the jokes you're going to get about your name all summer. No one saw me take this.
John, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember them saying Dorian in the entire Batman movie. Anyway, when we come back, Bat Bombs, Cape Crusaders, Goo Guns, Acid Bats, and Jim Carrey in a tiny green mask.
Nicole Kidman, Bruce Wayne's seductive psychiatrist, starred with the original Dark Knight of Gotham City, Michael Keaton, in what 1993 tearjerker? The answer when we come back. Starred with the original Dark Knight of Gotham City, Michael Keaton, in the 1993 film, My Life.
Welcome back to Flick. I'm Robin Dorian here in a very happening Central Park in New York City. And we're going to Batmobile crew all the way to Los Angeles for premiere of an indoor sort.
The best thing was probably getting to drive the Batmobile or the Batboat.
It's a lot of fun to dress up, and you know, especially for actors, that's what we do for a living.
Do I have to wear tights all the time?
When I was young, I fashioned them after me. I was very young and handsome like Bruce Wayne.
Okay, there's Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise up here. Unbelievable. We've had like stars galore.
It was one of those films where you know you're going to go to the set and have a lot of fun. Got the biggest and best stars in Hollywood in this movie.
Where? What hype?
He's just an enduring legend.
He's dark, but he's fun and he's good, you know. He's got a dark edge. All people with dark edges don't have to be bad, you know?
The bat signal pierces the evening sky. Gotham City is under siege. The Riddler has a secret weapon and teams up with the evil Two-Face. Could it be that Batman's crime-fighting days are numbered?
It must be very difficult as far as a challenge to do the third in a series.
It is, I guess, but fools rush in where angels fear to tread. I didn't think of it that way. When Bob Daly and Terry Semel, who are the chairman of the board of Warner's, asked me if I wanted to do the new Batman movie, I think the kid in me reacted first.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
Once I got into it and talking to the studio people, they wanted a different kind of tone to it, all of which was really appealing.
Hot entrance.
He was in the middle of Africa. We couldn't find him for 3 days to ask him if he would play Batman. And when his agent sent a runner out into the middle of Africa with a cellular phone to find him, they found him in a bat cave. It's true? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I'm Chase Meridian.
I asked Dr. Meridian to come to Gotham to consult on this case. She specializes in
abnormal psychology, multiple personalities. I read your work. Insightful. Naive, but insightful.
I'm flattered. Not every girl makes a superhero's night table.
It's a great role to play, though, because you get to play, kind of vamp it up, but be smart and strong.
Yeah, sexually assertive is what I call it.
Well, let's just say I could write a hell of a paper on a grown man who dresses like a flying rodent.
Bats aren't rodents, Dr. Meridian.
Really? I didn't know that. You are interesting.
I think every character in Batman has the dual personality syndrome. Even my character, even though she doesn't put on a suit, she still is trying to hide her obsession with the dark side.
And what is the dark side?
The dark side is her, chasing after the wrong kind of man, which is Batman.
This is an ensemble cast. And what you've been doing lately, I mean, you are the star, the big kahuna, the whole enchilada. And then this one...
Keep going. There's more.
But
the cream of the crop, the top of the heap. New York, New York.
In this one, you're amongst the group. Why did you want to do this?
To humble myself. Very few people are both a summer and a winter, but you pull it off nicely.
What's the point, big boy?
I am the Riddler. I'm a giant question mark.
Has anybody ever told you you have a serious impulse control problem? This is the point.
I wanted to do it because it is the type of thing where really top flight people come together and have fun.
This is how I found you. Let me demonstrate. This is your brain on the box. This is my brain on the box. Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
This is a cartoon, and the so-called over-the-top or overly exaggerated acting style is
performing style is part of the job description, and how far is too far? I don't know. Somebody's supposed to tell me that.
Is that what attracted you to this role, knowing that?
Part of it, yes. Another part of it was my son's enthusiasm for Batman and all the Batman characters.
You will help me steal production capital so I can put a box on every TV in town and become Gotham's cleverest carbon-based life form. And in return, is everybody paying attention?
My son is still enthusiastic about it. He's very, very happy to now that the movie's coming out, and I like it when he's happy.
I will help you solve the greatest riddle of all, the mother of all riddles. Who is Batman?
When I grew up, it was always Batman and Robin. So, you know, I thought, well, let's bring Robin in. And I was very lucky that Chris O'Donnell said yes, because I think he did a fantastic job.
I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. I don't know. What do you think? What's a good sidekick name?
How about Dick Grayson, college student?
This Robin's very macho, kind of a bad boy.
He thinks he's very, very tough.
He's not?
No, I think he is.
You're looking at your new partner.
No.
Bruce, whenever you go out tonight, I'll be watching. And wherever Batman goes, I'm going to be right beside him. I mean, how are you going to stop me?
I can stop you.
I read a lot about Val Kilmer talking about the weight of the suit.
His was heavier than mine. He, especially the second suit he gets, is like has this really heavy cape. My costume wasn't that bad. It does get very hot.
What do you suggest, Alfred? By sea or by air?
Why not both?
There's something very satisfying about this big rubber suit.
Who's your tailor?
I don't remember at which stage they admitted that it shrinks, but that was something that was unusual. Yeah, it shrinks. The kind of leather rubber that they chose because of how it looks. It doesn't breathe and it shrinks. So you can only wear them for so long, and then they're too small. They would give that one to Chris, and they'd cut it up, repaint it, put the R on there, and off you go.
Seal is one of the music superstars on this action-adventure soundtrack. Well, Flicks visited the set of the making of his music video, directed by Joel Schumacher.
There used to be a Graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side.
It wasn't right to put on the first album, so I saved it for the second one. And it just so happened that Joel heard it, and he liked it. Now, knowing the script for the movie and seeing snippets of it, I can understand why he liked it, why he wanted it for the movie. If one didn't know, one would think I actually wrote it for the movie.
Well, coming up, Batman's arch enemy, Jim Carrey, goes from dumb to even dumber in a blockbuster video pic.
What important distinction do Batman's Val Kilmer and Disney's Pocahontas have in common? The answer when we come back.